Hello, and welcome to Cigar Arcanum. Where we smoke cigars, play Magic, and talk about it. Now last time, I worked with my friend Luke, and we played a Grixis versus Jeskai Planeswalkers, and then against the Blue-White Planeswalkers Brew. I reviewed two cigars. Actually, this is one of them, the Rock Patel Special Reserve Sungrown Maduro, and the Tabernacle Maduro. Two fantastic cigars. I will not be reviewing this cigar today, I'm just enjoying it. We'll be playing some games of Magic. Now this will be ladder best of 3. And I will not be playing my usual deck. Now normally I play Grixis Control and ladder, but today I'm going to be playing a new list. Blue-Black Kefnet Control. Now this list is one that a friend of mine and I have put together. Essentially, it's trying to get power off of the God Eternal Kefnet and Immortal Sun interaction. Essentially, between these cards, you should have a large amount of card advantage, and it would play everything cheaply and get ahead of your opponent. You're playing Decimation Campaign along with Sinister Sabotage, Discovery Dispersal, and Thought Erasure to get your Surveils, and also playing Opt so you can get that very powerful instant speed reaction with Kefnet. Kempster's Insight is in here. This card exists because it's powerful in the deck, but it is probably the weakest card in the deck, and if I was going for cuts, it would definitely be the first card to cut. Enter the God Eternals is consistently better, especially because Enter the God Eternals for 3 or 4 is so powerful. It allows you to really get control of the game because you can play 2 spells with it. And for example, playing Enter the God Eternals for 4 and then going Disinformation Campaign for 2 gives you enough card advantage that even more aggressive decks who are trying to get your life total low won't be able to really impede that. Now we do have a pretty high curve. We have a lot of difficulty. The mana base isn't too varied. We're playing Blast Zone. We don't really have ways to deal with enchantments other than Blast Zone, so we're going to have to use that to deal with some of the more pesky issues that can come out. There's a lot of cards, Search for Azcanta, Dreadhorde Invasion, that are just a little bit problematic for a deck like this, so it's really helpful. Even aggressive decks, Turn 1 Land Elf decks don't like seeing this. The deck is almost entirely instant and sorceries. We decided that 3 Kefnet is all you'll ever need to win the game. If you can't get by on the 3 Kefnets, you weren't going to win anyway. And Immortal Sun consistently just shuts games down if the opponent doesn't have an immediate answer. Because everything costs less, because you're drawing that extra card, and because Planeswalkers don't work anymore, it's really hard to lose after it's out. Sideboard, this is pretty standard. 4 Duress, it's consistently good. I haven't yet convinced myself that Negate is always a bad card. It is strong in a lot of matchups, especially a deck like this, where we're already playing counterspells. We already have ways to deal with Baby Teferi. Teferi Time Raveler is so powerful in this format, and I've talked about that before. He really makes counterspells hard to use, but in a deck like this that's so instant sorcery heavy, Negate really can get there. Elder Spell, we don't have Bedevil in this deck. We don't have Mortify. We don't have a lot of the creature answers. And so we kind of have to rely on Mixil's Cruelty and Vraska's to get us there. So as a Planeswalker answer, it's up there. I like Vraska's Contempt more because in this meta you don't know whether or not you're going to be dealing with high-power creatures or high-power Planeswalkers. We deal with Planeswalkers pretty well pre-side, and the Jeskai Planeswalker deck has a lot of trouble staying in the game against this build. 3 Cry of Carnarium, there isn't a better Black Mass removal spell other than Cry of Carnarium and Ritual of Soot. And in the matchups where Cry of Carnarium turns on, it's going to completely dominate the game. Your opponent playing the night cards, if they're playing all those, 2/1 night, 2/2 night cards, they're not going to be able to get back with their Sarkons. Even if they're playing Llanowar Elf decks, exiling all of those creatures is always powerful. No one Hostage Taker. This is against decks that only have one valuable creature in their deck. These include decks like the Grixis deck with the Kobolas Ravager, even decks with, you know, something like Thibblethip or Tron. You know, it's the type of card you bring in, and it can be a really useful piece of utility. The fourth, Enter the God Eternal, is pretty much for any aggro deck. If they're not running Planeswalkers, Immortal Sun isn't as powerful, and it's time to bring in the Enter the God Eternals to stay relevant. Finale of Eternity is similar. It's such a good board wipe so much of the time, especially whenever the meta can throw things at you that you aren't expecting. Finale of Eternity is there for those situations. Really enjoying this cigar. Ah, it's so good. It was kept so well. Now, hopping into a game. This is 94% Mythic game. So I'm able to play. This is a hard to keep hand. It has a lot of mana. If my opponent's playing aggro, will be okay, but there's a lot of decks it's hard to keep against. Like if he goes turn 1 Lantern Ralph, I'm going to be kind of pressed. Especially if he's playing like the land destruction deck. But I do have the information campaign. I do have 2 pieces of removal. I am going to keep it because it's worse than I think any 6-card hand. Any mulligans. It's not really very helpful for me at this point. I'm just going to play Slot Pass. It's nice all my lands come into play untapped. Looks like his Dome. Rock Catacombs Pass. Now, he's probably playing the land destruction deck, or maybe he's playing just the Sultai mid-range version. It's hard to know exactly. These 2 cards kill stuff throughout the game, and I really want him discarding things. Hopefully this isn't like one of those decks where they just run Ferox for some reason, but you never know. I'd really like to see Ritual of Soot quickly. If he goes Jade Light Ranger, I'm going to be very hopeful. Oh, he didn't have it. Okay. You know, sometimes they don't have it. He's playing... This is going to be awkward if he has the Assassin's Trophy, but I'm going to play Kefnet anyway. Cross my fingers now. He didn't have J-Light Ranger or another Explore creature in hand because he attacked me last turn. So maybe he's going to go Tamio and try to search for one. I don't really care about that because my hand has just a lot of answers in it. I don't know what he's doing anymore. I'm going to hit him. That's really the play here. I'm killing this next turn regardless of what happens. Oh, yes. Very powerful. Very, very, very powerful. But
will not fail.
Unfortunate in this situation. It doesn't really get him back into the game. I just have a lot of ways to kill his cards. I just have a lot of removal in hand. Yeah, he's untapping that. I'm going to kill it. Passing this to untap it. Looks like Wild Walker's going to be able to hit me. And I can live with that. Because I will be killing a land next turn. Yep. Now, I don't want to reveal that. If he's playing the Dreadhorde deck, I don't want to mill him. Milling myself is fine. I only have Kefnets for him to get. And later in the game, I can obviously scroll through this. Even a Jade Light Ranger isn't enough to get him out of Obstacle Cruelty, so I'm okay with Enter the God Eternals on his land. Not milling him, milling me. That was awkward. Okay. Now, I don't want Duress or Negate, I don't think. He's playing the Explore engine. I didn't really get to see a lot of his deck. I mean, if he's playing like a Dreadhorde heavy deck and a control-y version of the Explorer engine, and he only has the, 12 creatures, Branch Walker, Jade, Light Ranger, and Woodwalk, like the Wood Branch Walker thing, Wood guy. That would mean these cards are good, but I didn't get to see that. Like, Carved Canarium's also not going to be too good. If he's not playing a lot of creatures, Hostage Taker might be the play. It looks like he might just be playing Green, Black, Blue, Tamio, Vraska, and, of course, Nissa. Maybe Ugin late game. And that's pretty strong. But I don't think I need more answers to Planeswalkers. Yeah, I mean, this is a hard choice. Chemistry's Insight is really bad on the draw, so I'm going to drop it. And go with Finale of Eternity. Yeah, Finale of Eternity, if he's just playing the Explorer engine, Finale of Eternity plus Ritual of Soda is really going to be enough to get me there, so let's see. And maybe he sides into some ridiculously powerful control deck, right? And I'm just not able to get in, or maybe he just, is playing the old school Sultai deck. Here's a little look at the cigar wrapper. Beautiful cigar, hands down my favorite, and not just in its price tag, just in general. I mean, some people have these, super expensive favorite cigars, but the consistency on the smoke is just so high. And I'm going to keep this, even though I'm missing the opt. I actually am okay with holding opt until way later in the game, because Thought Erasure is broken. And that's that. Maybe I'll regret everything and he'll go turn 1 Llanowar Elf to pass, and I'll be just getting bonked by a Llanowar Elf until I draw that Ritual Soot later. I sure hope not. I have a lot of ways to dig into my deck. 1, 2... Oh, beautiful. Okay. It's almost like art. Almost like art. Now, what is he going to play? Okay. Now that tells me he probably has counterspells, so let's see what he has. Yeah, almost definitely has counterspells. And that's good. I want him negating early, honestly. That's better than him negating this later. And I'm super happy with that. I'm super happy with not having my Ritual Soot negated. I will need to get one of these Thought Erasures off this game, so I'm going to have to play it now. What does he have? Yeah, so Tamio and Commander Dreadhorde have to go, but Tamio has to go now. I'm going to need Kefnet, but I don't need Kefnet now. Really what I need is another land. I need another land to get rid of Dreadhorde, and I need 2 Ritual of Soda's board eventually. This is rough. He has a good hand. He has a very good hand. I don't care about Assassin's Trophy at all. It doesn't do anything. Ooh. No. I need land. Okay. That's a card. He can Dreadhorde next turn, and I know he's only Dreadhording for Tamio, but let's get rid of that. Nope. Now, I can Thought Erasure again, and I probably will. Getting rid of the Assassin's Trophy just feels decent. He's not going to hold any spells in his hand for the rest of the game. Like, unless he's holding negates, but I'm not going to have the mana to really manage that later, so let's just get rid of the Assassin's Trophy and keep getting... yes. Yes. Keep getting lands. Man, if he top deck the gate, I'm fucked. Like, I am just west side all over, but... Nope, he didn't. Okay. Maybe he has land Nissa? That would be really strong here. Yeah. Both of these have to go. I need to get a Kefnet in here eventually. That's not bad. That's definitely not bad. Last turn. I feel like this is a 5-mana card. It might be Hydra Crassus, and he's just a... yeah. You know... I'd like to keep my cards. He's only drawing 1 from this. And I can threaten with Blast Zone as 2, so I'm just going to put counters on Blast Zone. And I'll take 1. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. I can kill stuff next turn without Nixil's Cruelty, and just brutalize his face here. Oh, just excellent. Just excellent. I am going to kill that while I have a chance. He's tapped out. It's probably the best card in his deck right now. So killing that, taking 2, hoping he doesn't have... that was the right one. Okay. Yeah. He's gonna have the land for whatever 5-mana spell he's been holding on to, so... that'll be awkward. That'll be awkward. So in this case, huh. Interesting. So if I blow everything up, he's gonna have the 5 mana for whatever he wants to play next turn. I think I have to dig for a counterspell and get this back. Ooh, no. No, 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 no. Or that. So this means I can actually disinformation campaign now. I don't think this is a negate, unless he's been mind gaming me pretty damn well. So I'm going to disinformation campaign and take the 4 next turn. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. I thought he got the 5-mana card, and I'm so glad his information campaign there. This means that he's really in top deck mode. After the Ritual of Soot comes down, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. He's going to have a lot of trouble. Okay. That's it. 93%, not 94%. 95% now. Pretty good. Pretty good. I really like this deck. I really like the idea of the deck, I guess, more than I like playing the deck, if that makes any sense. Looks like I lost connection. That's bad. I just really like the idea of playing the blue-black deck with Kefnet and having all of these plays that give me card advantage, give me access, you know, really powerful interactions like playing Disinformation Campaign over and over and being able to, you know, get... every time Disinformation Campaign that comes down, it +1s. I mean, draw a card, discard a card, flat, does something great. But recurring it gets you an amount of card advantage that isn't fair anymore. Like, that game, I was able to take out so many threats before they were even able to hit the board. Nissa against this deck is really strong, because I don't have any card that deals with a token and a Nissa at the same time. I don't even know if there's any cards in the set that deal with a creature and a Nissa at the same time. Of course, Immortal Sun would prevent her from doing anything in the first place, but like Vraska's on Nissa doesn't stop the creature that she created out of the lands. You know, kill Omnix's Cruelty on the land kills land, but it doesn't stop the Nissa. And that's a lot of the threats in this format. A lot of the threats in this format are you either have to counter them or discard them. And I love discarding them because I didn't have to do anything for it. I didn't have to go and figure out which card it is. My opponent just had to play down the whole game. Now, I drew 4 Thought Erasures, and this card's broken. Like, if you were to put the top 5 most powerful cards in this format, if you don't have this card on the list, you didn't make a good list. Definitely this Thought Erasure, you know, Nissa's up there in that list. I wouldn't put the 5-mana Teferi Hero. Teferi Time Raveler is so much more critical in the format, so much more defining. The Teferi Hero is good and really important in the decks he's in, but he's like Bolas. He's only playable in certain decks. He's not really as powerful, and the meta isn't warped around him. The meta is warped around Teferi Time Raveler. That is delicious. That is a delicious cigar. It's got that strong flavor, and it makes me feel so good. It makes me really want to worship the Dragon God Bolas. You know, Bolas is really the one who keeps us, you know, playing Magic, right? As you don't know, I play a lot of Grixis. The deck that I played for most of May and June was this one. Almost this exact list. I deviated a couple times, I talked about it in my last video, but I've deviated, and I found that this is the list that ends up being the strongest almost every time. Carnival of Carnage, like, I keep seeing people go back to Bedeck Bedazzle, but it isn't as strong. There's so many good turn 1 plays. The Fanatic, the Llanowar Elf, there's so many good turn 1 power creatures that Carnival just handles. Now, I wouldn't play either of these cards by themselves. The issue is, every deck that Carnival's good against, Carnage is often good against late game. And that means that dealing with their last 2 cards in hand because they're not playing a control deck means that I've won. If I've gotten to that point, the game is over and it deals extra damage. Angrath is sort of the same. You know, people talk about he's not a good 5-mana Planeswalker. He's the weakest 5-mana Planeswalker. His effects aren't, you know, cost efficient. Angrath, I said a minute ago that no card deals with Nissa in the format. I was a liar. Angrath can deal with Nissa, because Angrath can take a token and whack Nissa. And he can only do it once, which only brings her to 2, but he's one of the few times that you can. Let's say somebody goes Fibblefip, and the next turn Teferi, and they spin something, you can drop Angrath, kill Teferi. I mean, there's so many really strong effects and really strong interactions of when they have a creature and a Planeswalker in play, Angrath can save you. And that actually happened in my last video, where just playing Angraths got me out of a really bad situation. For card advantage, I think these are the 2 best draw spells in the format. Because they're not draw spells, they get you anything you need. They ensure that, even with a deck like this, I'm running 27 lands. And the reason for that is Citrus Canta and Narset ensure that I never have to worry about it. It's so efficient. The times where it does come up, Dreadhorde Butcher is what I bring in on games where I'm a little bit not as powerful in the late game, the more hardcore control games, and they're a little more greedy. Dreadhorde Butcher is really powerful. That's just the deck that I really like, and I've been playing for a while, but we're really experimenting with this. I don't know where to change it. One conversation I had was go down to 1 Vraska's Contempt and bring in 2 Elder Spells into the main board. And that seems powerful, especially because the Ritual of Soots and Omnisolus do ensure that we're going to be able to beat any creature decks, but I don't think we have to do that. I think that we have enough ways to manage Planeswalkers in the mid-game that when we finally get the Immortal Sun Kefnet engine going, it's going to be too hard for them to get out. But I'm going to do another game and see what happens. Yeah. Drinking water with the cigar. Water is always good to drink with a cigar. Keeps it hydrated, and it has a very neutral flavor, so you don't have to worry too much. In South Louisiana, where we are right now, it is very hot and humid, and I'm sweating a little bit. This is a bad hand. This is a still bad, but manageably bad hand. If he's playing a deck where Ritual of Soot is good, then this is going to be great. If he's playing a deck where Ritual of Soot is bad, I better hope he's playing Jeskai Planeswalkers and doesn't beat me before turn 6. Which can happen. Which can definitely happen. I don't know what he's waiting for. But this is awkward. This is very awkward. Hopefully the opt... Ooh. Okay. This is difficult. He's going to take the opt. Essentially no matter what. Unless he's playing some super aggressive... Okay. Okay. That's... He must be playing Expert Planeswalkers. There's the only thing I can think of. Yeah. Oh, Hero Precinct 1. So confusing. I mean... We're trying to play Ritual of Soot this game, so... It doesn't kill Basilica Bellhaunt, and that's going to haunt me. I'm not too worried about the hero. If that's all he has, then it's going to be great, but if he goes, like, Teferi this turn, and it looks like he's about to go Teferi, yeah, I'm in the pickle. I'm in a very pickly...
I know my responsibility.
I'm in a very awkward, difficult, pickly situation. That helps the pickly situation quite a lot. It really just depends on what he plays, but... That does make me a lot less pickled.
Here goes nothing.
Oof, oof, oof. I don't have to Ritual of Soot yet. Well, maybe I do now. Ritual of Soot. He doesn't have another hero that's going to be relevant. This is neat. He doesn't have a card to necessarily kill Kefnet right now, that I know of. Unless he's playing Omnixilus Cruelty. Kefnet's just hard to kill and might be the card that keeps me in this game. Now, if he plays Big Teferi and spins it, that will be awkward. And look at that! Every single time! Every single time.
Right on schedule.
I am in a bad situation. Just a very, very bad. Just a very bad. All of his things are different mana costs, and that makes Blast Zone weak. And this game will be very, very hard to win.
You know
I don't know how I do that with the two Teferis and the Bellhaunt in play. Yeah, without counterspells open, it's hard to manage that. I don't really have answers to this.
Trust me, I have a plan.
I can put counters on it. Well, that's not going to do anything. I think that's game. I don't think... maybe a Vraska's and him not having a counterspell will keep me in for a couple of turns. This is a hard deck to manage against. Look at that. Look at that. So bad. Whatever. I don't really care about that. A kill spell will keep me in for a round. No, I had Kefnet on top, right. Because I'm a fool. I'm a foolish fool. Alright, game 2. Not sure if he keeps the Bellhaunts against me. He should keep the Bellhaunts against me. These are coming in. And these are coming in. That's not coming in. I don't need Cryocanarium. Finale of Eternity is what I need. I don't need these anymore. I don't need these anymore. Finale of Eternity is going to be my answer to the token spam. Actually, I might bring Cryocanarium in. Cryocanarium is just a better Ritual of Soot against this deck. He doesn't have anything. Like, even if he brings in Thief of Sanity, it's still better. There are no converted mana cost 3 creatures with 3 power that I'm worried about. It's all Hero Precinct and Thief of Sanities. I do really want to take out a couple things. Chemster's Insight on the play is good, but I'm not going to be able to get it off here. Gotta keep Immortal Sun in. Gotta keep Opt in. Omnixil's Cruelty is awkward, and I think I can get by on the Vraskas, especially on the play. One more card. I'm hoping I don't need Cryocanarium. I'm hoping that I will be able to just take control of the game before that comes up. Maybe that's greedy of me. Maybe I do want 2 Cryocanarium in. But I don't know what to take out for it. I need to cut 2 cards. A Disinformation Campaign is fine. I'm going to go down on a Kefnet, actually. I want it later. I need to get control over the game before I win this game. And I need Immortal Sun to do that, so... Let's see what I get. Oh! No! better. That's just the better hand. It's a better version of the same hand. Nope. And, you know, I'll be hoping he doesn't go Islands with an open Spell Pierce. Okay. The rest of the Thought Erasure, I don't care. I don't really care. I don't want either of these. I'm a business. That's not business. Yep. Okay. So he's also digging. He doesn't have Hero Precinct 1 in hand. And that's nice for us. It means that I have turns to get to my Immortal Sun. That's neat. I'm going to opt main phase because there's a lot of cards that I want to play this turn. That's the card I want to play this turn. That keeps me in the game in a lot of different ways. Well, he can't Thief of Sanity and Thought Erasure. And 2 Thief of Sanities might be enough just in the game. D-Spark doesn't do anything to me. I need an answer to Thief of Sanity. So I have to get rid of Immortal Sun, and that is painful. That is just painful. We kind of knew he was bringing the Thief of Sanities in, because he's more of a mid-rangey version. And he's going for the Thought Erasure. That feels wrong. He doesn't have... Yeah, well, opt again. Not the card to save me, but... Let's see what he had. Just a D-Spark. I mean, Thief of Sanity might just end this game. Like, if I don't draw something very powerful this turn, Thief of Sanity will win this game by itself. So there's definitely cards. That card. That card. That card. I have to do this now before we get a chance to draw a card. And, man, I hate playing and then hope he doesn't do this, right? It's the worst way to play Magic. Yeah.
If you wish to try out just the trick for this.
Yeah, Command the Dread Horde. It's not really a threat yet. Well. Whales. Whale, whale, whale. Whale, whale, whale.
Keep an open mind.
Whatever. That seems weak.
No.
I mean, there's definitely cards that keep me in the game here. Anything to deal with the Command the Dread Horde, really. Yeah, I forgot. I may not be in this game at all. I thought he drew with it. I'm a fool. That's the Command the Dread Horde for the 2 Thief of Sanities. I can deal with that. I don't think I got rid of anything.
Let's try this.
That's sad. You're underdone this game.
Don't worry. I got this.
I mean, he's gonna go for the Dread Horde. Okay. You're gonna counter that?
This isn't a fight you can win.
Yeah, that's game. That's almost undoubtedly game. I need like an Elder Spell and a Removal Spell and a Counter Spell. I need like 5 cards and I don't have any cards in my hand. Who knows what that was? It could have been a Counter Spell.
Here we go.
I mean, this deck really is trouble. Again, in this matchup. Not being able to play Counter Spells is bad, but I didn't even get into that situation. It doesn't top deck well. I let myself get into a top deck. The reason I lost both games, I let myself get into a top deck scenario, and this deck doesn't function. I didn't really know that. Because besides the first time we're really playing this deck, I'm going to play it out because I kind of want to see more of the deck and feel it out. But I definitely lost. The real issue is I got myself into a situation where I was just playing to get my opponent's cards out, and he got one. And I was a mistake. I should have been... I don't even think it matters, but...
My
Only
mind
a
needs
matter
a
of
rest.
time.
What's nice is this Kefnet doesn't recur for him. Oh, good. I'm assuming he showed me the Dovins to BM me. Because I sure hope I'm not about to lose to somebody who shows Dovins for no reason. Whatever. I mean, I don't have any answers to you. Just kill me. Please, just kill me. Just swing out and win. Yeah. Yeah, learning some stuff about this deck. The Esper control matchup's really awkward. I don't think I have a lot of answers to it. Just checking on the stream before I go into another game. Yeah. It's saying my stream's not available, so we're gonna try and fix that. Sorry I'm sweating so much. It's just kind of the situation. Looks like I have 6 followers here. It has me as offline, so... I'm just trying to reset up the stream. Looks like there was some issues with my connectivity for a bit in that stream, so some of it cut off. But it will all be on... Yeah, some network error. It will all be on YouTube. Sorry about the infinite cascading window. It's just how OBS ends up working on one screen. Yeah. Looks like we have good internet access, but something is preventing us from getting the stream functional. I'm not too worried about that. There's no one really on it right now. I'm going to focus more on keeping the video going. Gonna play one more match. Really liking the deck. I do think there's some tweaks to happen to make it more resilient against the range and control decks. There's a lot of problems with going into top deck mode against the Planeswalker heavy decks because a Narset, a Teferi, a Nissa, all of these things just shut you down. And in this deck that you're trying to maneuver around the Planeswalker decks, trying to play around, trying to not be as aggressive, but actually be more greedy, right? And then protect yourself into your greed for the Immortal Sun. Now, I haven't actually had a chance to play Immortal Sun before in this deck. The game never goes on long enough, or I never draw into it, or situations like that happen where it just wasn't helpful. Though maybe Immortal Sun was the correct card to have kept. Maybe I would have been able to put that out, stay out of top deck mode in that last game. I was looking for answers, and that might have been my mindset. I was kind of focused on looking for answers, looking for ways to resolve problems. But I wasn't focused on looking for ways to actually win the game. And that is a critical mistake. So my opponent's going first. I'm going to keep this. I don't need to opt turn 1. Very few decks are going to put me in that situation, so... Look at that. Oh, I asked for Immortal Sun. Probably going to see the Hero Precinct 1 this turn. Or Thought Erasure. I am okay with that. It's not... I mean, he's going to take Op, probably. He's definitely not taking Immortal Sun, and I've got 2 removal spells, so it's Opt or Kefnet. It depends what he has in hand. I would take Opt in every circumstance, personally. It means that I wouldn't be able to dig and get my mana base fixed up and get the cards I need to, set up against him. Kefnet, though... Oh, ooh, okay, that is a confusing choice. He must have like some strong counter spells or something. Okay with Narset. It's not backbreaking just yet. I really need to get the Immortal Sun out this game. I really need to have 5 mana out. He goes for Teferi, doesn't have Dovins, and I then Immortal Sun. I know that is asking for a lot. Just a huge amount, but... Fast turn. Yeah, he's probably going to play Thought Erasure and something. Maybe he has 2 Thought Erasures in hand. You know, that is definitely possible.
Hone your prowess.
Yeah, Narset's super strong against me, too. Like, this deck really is strong with Narset. Just all these Command the Dreadhorde decks. I think this deck's not situated well for this meta. I'm gonna have to drop it. It does so poorly against these greedier decks in general. I can't even play this, by the way. Like, I'm not even gonna get this active, but... Play your Thought Erasure, do whatever you need to me. Really, Immortal Sun is my entire life. Like, that's my lifeline in this game. I think he's trying to choose between Immortal Sun or Kefnet. Objective Cruelty is useless. Okay, so that's interesting. He might have... I mean, I doubt he's running Disdainful Stroke. Oh. Setting himself up good. Setting himself up real good. Kefnet, into the board. Alright. You know, he might get Teferi Spin, and that would be unfortunate, but... There's nothing for him to Dreadhorde. And in theory, he's not going to ever get anything to Dreadhorde. Now, he's almost definitely Teferi. Teferi Spin is the play here.
If you show remorse,
it is undoubtedly the play here.
Restraint.
And
you need to take a time
it's
out.
so good that he did that for me. Yeah, I'm just seeing right land drops. Just keep this going. He doesn't have the ability to set up what he needs to counter Immortal Sun next turn. Unless he has it in hand now. I mean, he could draw into it with, you know, his 2 cards. But that's really good for me. It's so powerful. And yeah, he's clearly digging for the counterspell for the Immortal Sun. That's very much what's happening here.
I'll protect you.
He really needs that counterspell. Because if I Immortal Sun, I win. Like, if that spell hits the board, the game is over. And he has 4 chances out of 43. I know he's only running Dovins. I know this list that people are playing with the Search for Escanta doesn't run Negate. People don't fit Negate and Search for Escanta in these lists, except maybe some Fringe situation. That's interesting. That is the incorrect play here. He should have kept... Unless he has Dovins in hand. Yeah, he was digging for Dovins. I'm relatively sure he doesn't have it. Oh, God! So bad. Okay. So bad. Oh, bad. Bad for me. Bad for me everywhere. Gonna play the Kefnet. Gonna play the Kefnet. Luckily, the Dreadhorde isn't doing anything. He's gonna keep digging for that Dovins, though. I mean, there's no way he has to get Dovins to be in this game. Now, I have to hope he doesn't get Dovins, because I lose if he gets Dovins. Like, I'm just not... I don't care about that. I don't care at all. Kill that. Kill whatever you need to feel good about yourself. He is digging really, really deep for that Dovins. There's a lot of chances for it. He has 39 cards left in his deck, and he has 4 cards I don't know about.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Out of 43 cards in a 60-card deck, there's a... Well, you shouldn't have played that, but I'm playing Immortal Sun no matter what happens, I think. I do have to shut down this Teferi. He will try to Dreadhorde it. I really wish I could do something. Still digging.
I have practiced against
the only reason to play the Infinite Narsets is because he doesn't have the Dovins. If he had the Dovins, he would be playing less aggressively. But because he doesn't have an answer to the game, he feels threatened by this Immortal Sun. So he's looking for Dovins or Thought Erasure. That's not it. Which means he didn't have anything else in that pull. I am very confident. There's a chance I'm just getting mind gamed out. But he only has 5 cards in graveyard. He's not getting Search for Escantas. I'm very confident that he doesn't have the card he needs. He didn't go for the Kaya's Wrath. I will decline that. Yeah. I have to pass turn and wait. I mean, it's unfortunate, but he's not going to kill his Teferi unless he has one in hand, or he really, 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 really wants to. I mean, he's going to go for the Kayas, right? Like, he's going to try to Kayas that. And I'm going to counter it. And I really hope that I'm going to go for the Kayas. And I can't play Sinister Sabotage. I'm a fool. I am a gigantic fool. If that wasn't well established. I am going to decline. That was a mistake. That was a huge misplay. I misplayed, and I deserve to lose for that misplay. And I will. I will lose for that misplay. There was no way. Yeah, I'm not playing this deck anymore in this format. It just has such a bad Dreadhorde matchup. And if Dreadhorde is the way Mythic is at the moment, people are still playing those really greedy decks. I really figured these greedier Dreadhorde decks were less prevalent. Yeah, going for Dreadhorde here is amazing. Killing Kefnet's too hard.
Reverse!
I really shouldn't have discarded that Kefnet. I should have just spun it so he couldn't access it. It was just a bad play.
That's more like it.
Maybe he has the Thought Erasure if he's going for that. Because he's going to go for the hero, right? And he's going to have the mana to search for Thought Erasure or Dovins and play it because of this. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be real difficult to do anything about this. He doesn't seem to be running any way to win the game. Okay, he didn't do anything. So, alright, let's play the thing. Now he has multiple plays to make here. And he's got to go for the search for Escanta because he didn't just immediately counterspell it. Well, he was playing mind games. I assumed he dug a lot into his deck. I assumed he was going to search for Escanta for it. Maybe even holding the Dovins the whole game, and he was just digging for more ways to win. I don't have a way out. I don't have any ways out. He has so much card advantage that I'm just going to give it to him. Yeah, moving on. Moving on. Moving on to game 2. Moving on to game 2. In game 2, I have a little bit of a better matchup. He's not playing that many creatures, and he's not almost certainly not sideboarding many of them against me. So I'm bringing all this in, and I'm taking all my removal out. Yeah, Kemster's Insight consistently is getting cut, so I think that means that the card's bad. It just doesn't fit. Alright. Praise Bolus. Playing. Whew. Yeah. Opting later in the game is not a bad idea in this hand. He's not running Spell Pierce from what I can tell. He didn't play it last game, and it'd be weird to side it in. So if he sided in any counter spells, it would be negate. I only saw Dovins. Yeah, I do need an extra blue mana. Eventually. He must be thinking about threatening me with an untapped blue land, but I'm almost sure he doesn't have the Spell Pierce. So he has to rest. Alright, Ryan. He has to take Thought Erasure. And I will Discovering, because it's the stronger card. I need that negate for later in the game. At 2 mana, he doesn't have any threats unless he's sided in Hero Precinct 1, or maybe I just didn't see it all game. But, yeah. Yep. I'm doing that because I want to be able to either Sinister Sabotage some he plays, or negate, and then opt. And it depends what he goes for. There are cards that I want to Sinister Sabotage, and there are cards that I want to negate. He doesn't have any of them, though. Yeah, I want that card. I want that card a lot. Beautiful. Now I have counter mana and Thought Erasure mana open. All those good cards. Oh, yeah, I mean, missing a land drop is awkward in his deck. I get why he kept it. On the draw, I don't think I'd change anything. I think the list is tight. I think the list is real tight. Immortal Sun might be bad. Like, this is the deck that it should, in theory, be doing the best against, other than just Got Planeswalkers. And it's so hard to get to the point where I'm casting it. I think the deck has potential, but I think Immortal Sun might not be the card for it. Maybe I just haven't seen... Oh, good. Look at that. Look how perfect that deck is. You know, if I drew an island, or like a Water Grave, this would be the best hand in Magic. But I can't make that risk. I'm going to have to mulligan. Better. Acceptable. I can't go to 5. On the draw, I can do this. Because I'll have negate for whatever his turn 2 and 3 plays are. And that'll be good because I'll be able to eventually discover Dispersal. Nope. Yep. Immortal Sun. You know, if it was a good card, I'd want to keep it every time. Duress that. That would be a Duress. And he's taking negate almost definitely. Really, there's 4 cards in hand. Yeah. Island! Island pass. This could go awkward. This could go real awkward, real fast. Does he negate that? No. Okay. I don't want either land. I can do with 4 lands for now. I need business. That's business, right? Yeah, that's a form of business. He might have Teferi in hand, which is good, but... Okay. I'm gonna opt first. See if I can get a Thought Erasure. Sinister Sabotage. Beautiful. I can live with Sinister Sabotage. Especially because I know he doesn't have that Teferi, and I'm bluffing a negate in hand. So, if he drew that land, he's probably just gonna, yep, pass. I can't do anything here. I have to just pass and wait and hope that he misplays. There was no real play to get me out of that. Getting my Kefnet Control, yeah, that's the play. That's the play. Just keep doing that. Yep, just keep doing that. Eventually, I will be able to Disinformation Campaign, or Kefnet. That hasn't happened yet. I just really want to counter whatever spells he's trying to play. Like that. I gotta counter that. Really gotta counter that. I need Disinformation Campaign for next turn. Because it only has 2 cards left in hand. Right? And if they're counter spells, great. If they're not, also great. This is great. I can Disinformation Campaign and have mana up for Sinister Sabotage. You may have tapped wrong for that. But that's fine. He has a lot of trouble playing out of Sinister Sabotages in this situation. So I'm Thought Erasuring this Disinformation Campaign likely. Get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. That's going to my hand. I don't need a Disinformation Campaign that, and he can only draw a spell, and I have a counter spell for whatever spell it is, so I gotta end turn. Here we go, land, then that's game. But there isn't a spell that beats Sinister Sabotage by itself. Yeah, I'll do that. He doesn't have any way to deal with it in his deck. You can't spin it because it's Teferi. Like, you can't do anything about Immortal Sun. So maybe it functions in that type of situation. Back to where I was yesterday. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of have been bouncing around 95%. Just trying to get through it. I like the deck. Kempster's Insight's not making the cut. I think another Ob Nixilis Cruelty probably would. Or maybe Vraska's. Maybe number 4 Vraska's? I don't know. I don't know for sure. Maybe a third cruel. Maybe a third Cruelty. Let's see. This spell feels weird. You know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the exact card here that I'd want is. I could run another. I could run number 4 Vraska's. Do I not have 4 Vraska's? I like Family of Eternity a lot. It's worse than Ritual of Soot almost every time, but the times where it's good, it's really good. Definitely not a 4th Kefnet. Those games, what I was having trouble with was not having enough counterspells. I really do well when I have the ability to counter my opponent, and it might just be one negate main deck. Like, it might just be, I have that negate available, I dig really deep, I'd like to run a second one, I don't know where I cut, maybe Immortal Sun, or a Enter the God Eternals and move a card from the sideboard, put Immortal Sun there. I'm not really sure. This is the blue-black Kefnet list, though. We like it. I'm going to keep playing around with it. It's definitely not as refined as my Grixis list that I really like playing. So, I'll pop this open and call it a night. I think I did that. Alright, well, thanks for watching.